Hey, welcome back. This is going to be the first video for the first part of the teardown on the Sportster. Today we're going to take the seat off, the gas tank, carburetor, the intake, the exhaust, and the fender, and we'll see how far else I can get. But that's all we're going to do for today, so stick around. So we had to disconnect this fuel line from the petcock here on the gas tank so I can undo these bolts and then take the gas tank off. So now you can see we have the gas tank off, the seat off, got the exhaust off, and now we're going to be taking the air cleaner off and then the carburetor and disconnecting it from the choke over here and sliding that all off. That's our next step, and then we'll be, I believe, moving on to removing the fender and all that stuff back there. Now we have the carb off, the intake off, and the air cleaner off. We are making progress today. So I got the back tire off now, and gonna start working on the fender. But I gotta go in here and remove some of the electrical stuff first, so that I can remove the fender since the taillight and blinkers are still on the fender. And yeah, we're moving right along today. Alright, now we got the rear fender off, turn signals disconnected, you know. So now we're gonna remove the battery and the battery box, so it'll free up some room so we can get in and start taking out the oil tank. But yeah, we gotta remove this cover also. But yeah, so far I feel like we're jamming along today. Okay, so we took that side cover off there, got the battery out. Now we're gonna have to take out the battery tray here so we can get to more of the fittings for the oil tank and stuff like that. And we're gonna go with a anti-gravity battery when we put this back together, instead of the bulky standard battery. So what I'm talking about right here, it's a 12-volt lithium battery, but it's made by anti-gravity. So you got this size battery compared to the stock battery. So that's going to be a little bit of a weight savings also, but this is a lithium battery, this is not. This should be really good, and this also fits inside the oil tank that we have for the chopper frame. So now that we've got the battery tray out of the way, we can see those bolts back here that we're going to have to get these nuts off of for the oil tank to come off. But first, I'm going to have to drain the oil tank, because I didn't think about this ahead of time, because I was following the directions on their website on Throttle Addiction's video on how to dismantle your Sportster. Alright, we're going to let that drain out for, well, until it's done. Now we're going to go start taking off the sprocket cover so we can take the belt off. Because we're going to have to replace the belt anyways, but I'm thinking of going to chain drive when I get the hardtail back together. Here's something that's not fun. So the Allen wrench that I was using to take out these bolts and everything, the head of it snapped off inside of here, and I'm trying to get it out. So we'll see how that goes. Look at that. Got it out. Power of magic, or magnets. It's on there pretty good. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we got the sprocket cover off. We have our belt moved out of the way here. And yeah, before I put this all back together, I'm going to change out these bolts, get some new ones because they're a little crusty. And like actually this one is the one that I broke the Allen wrench off in. So luckily I was able to get it out. But now we're going to have to cut this clamp off and this clamp off so we can get the oil lines taken off so that we can finish taking out the oil tank. So the good news is we won't be reusing those clamps. So, yeah. All right, there we go. So now we got to go to the other side of the bike and take out the 3 bolts that hold this on. And then we should be able to get that off. Now that we cut that hose, we can finish taking off these bolts that I didn't finish. Alright, so we got the oil tank off, and now going to take our rear calipers off as a whole set. Hopefully this works that way. Doesn't look too complicated, but I might have just screwed myself by saying that, so we'll see. Managed to get the brake arm off because, well, this bike's like 23, 24 years old, depending on when it came out in 2000. So, yeah, you know, I think some of this stuff is still from the factory. So now we're going to move over to this side and finish taking off the rest of our brake hardware, like this, and this, and this, and then we'll be able to fish that out and take it all off. And then we have to disconnect this little electrical part here. It's the brake light switch. It sounds easier said than done. There we go. All right. Recap of what we've done today. Obviously, we got rid of the fuel tank, carburetor and intake, sprocket cover, rear brakes, the exhaust system, the oil tank, the rear tire, the rear fender. Got rid of the battery box and the battery. Got our brake system out. I'd have to say that's a pretty good day today. We'll start back on this probably more in a couple of days. But yeah, I think did a pretty good job for myself today. Welcome back. This is the end of the video for part 2 of hardtailing our Sportster. Today we got the fuel tank off, the seat, air cleaner, intake, carburetor, got the rear brakes off, we got the rear tire off, the rear fender, the oil tank, the battery tray, and the battery. And that's pretty much it for this episode. But on our next episode, we're going to be basically stripping it all the way down to the frame. We're going to take off all the electrical, get the engine out, take the front end off, and get it ready to get it cut and get the hardtail welded on, and then we're going to start putting it all back together. So keep checking back. And thanks again for following us.